I want to share with you today 2 secrets, if you like. I mean, these come direct from my 10-week Calm and Contentment Programme. And these are 2 things that I think have been some of the most pivotal in regaining our spark. You know, if you feel like you've lost your mojo, these are 2 things to try that instantly can re-engage sense of self, calm, composure, de-stress, calm the overwhelm, and clear the mind. Of course, there are many more than these 2. We do a whole 10 weeks on the program, but I think these 2 are quite unique, and they're not new, but they're things we've lost touch with. One of the big things that we integrate as part of the 10 weeks when we get sort of halfway along is this concept of a reflexation day. So reflexation day, it's not a word you'll have heard, and it's a combination of 2 things. It's for relaxing and reflecting, and it's a little bit like what we might have called in the past a Sabbath. We used to always have a day where the shops were closed, we didn't go to work, it was all about downtime. And of course, in our modern, always-on world, we've lost opportunities like that. So it's almost like our non-religious version of a Sabbath. How do we have, and it might not even be a day, it might be half a day, how do we have a period of time each week where we can just rest and recharge, where we can actually look after us? So that doesn't mean we're heading to the supermarket to stock up the house with groceries for the week, or we're buzzing around the house getting all the cleaning jobs done and the life admin done. It means that we actually have this intentional space to rest, to relax, and to reflect, because this is innate. In terms of us thriving and being at our best, this is the stuff we have to do to allow us to do the other stuff. And this is the stuff we so often forget and deprioritize. And of course, when we think back in time, things like a Sabbath, that was imposed upon us, right? You couldn't go to the shops because they were not allowed to open. And so it's almost like looking at that principle for our lives now. What does your reflexation day look like? Even if you can only manage 1 a month, this is going to make a huge difference. So reflexation day is one of the tips that comes direct from the 10-week Calm and Contentment Programme. I think it's a great one, which is why I'm sharing it here with you now as a bit of a secret. Don't tell anyone. But try it. See what benefits you get from having some reflexation time. So the only thing you do with this time is you rest and relax and you reflect. So you think about the things that are important to you. You think about, well, what's happened this week? What's gone well? Why? What didn't go so well? What's bothering me? What have I learned? How do I feel? All of these questions that when we're too busy and life is too noisy, we don't get the chance to answer. And this stuff informs our future choices. It also helps us process, get rid of some of that overwhelm and that emotional baggage that we tend to carry around with us all of the time. And the second thing, which is a little bit easier, I think, maybe it's not, because it can be a challenge for some. The second thing that people love on the 10-week Calm and Contentment Programme is this notion of self-dates. So this is something that actually comes from The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and that's all about how artists refind and reignite their creative spark. And she invites us to have self-dates in a way of reconnecting with the inner artist and creation. But my take on this is self-dates for you. So you could do anything you want on these self-dates. The only rule is it's by yourself. Because so often when we have space and time, when we go somewhere, it's with and for others. We're taking the family out, or we're meeting a friend. There's some kind of compromise, or there's something on us in terms of making sure other people are okay when we go on this, go to this place, go on this activity. So a self-date is all about you. It might be that you take yourself to a cafe by yourself and have a coffee or your favorite meal. It might be that you go for a walk in a new place that you've never been, or it might even be that you splash out and take yourself away to a different city and stay overnight. It's anything you want. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be big. The only thing is you do this by yourself. And what this does is it creates space. When we have a self-date, it's something I use time and time again. I go on dates with my family, yeah, and friends. But when I have a self-date, there's a different energy attached to it, a different space that opens up. When I have a self-date, I think about things that ordinarily wouldn't have come into my head. I get the space to reflect and consider. I get ideas that I wouldn't have had, and I look through different eyes when I'm in new places by myself. And so this opportunity of a self-date can be a challenge, particularly as women. We're not used to being places by ourselves, and we might feel a bit weird if we took ourselves to the movies alone, or we were sat in a restaurant by ourselves, and we start to worry, well, is anybody looking at me? What are they thinking? Are they thinking I've got no friends? Sometimes these are the barriers that get in the way. So I'd invite you, if that's something you're experiencing, start small. Maybe it is a walk through a new town, or a new part of nature that you haven't been to before and seen, and an opportunity to spend some time by yourself, because this is where the magic happens, and we do not do enough of this. So our reflexation days, our self dates, these are keys and secrets to unlocking our potential, to reducing the overwhelm, to building this inner calm and composure, and to start regaining some balance, so that we can not just know ourselves and build this awareness, but also start to regulate what's going on inside of us and align who we are and how we're feeling to actually what's happening on the outside in our lives as well.